This game was sent to me by Khronokai1. He's playing on PS4, which means that interaction with menus and looting and moving around attachments will be a bit slower than on PC. This jump path starts north center and goes straight down the center of the map south. You could jump a little earlier than this, I think, and get there a little faster than going perpendicular to the jump path, but that's okay. By going so far from the center of the jump path, you're making a kind of conservative choice, which is fine. It's kind of to taste. It means you're going to have more time to loot in peace and fewer squads to fight. The high momentum squads will end up with better loot faster because they'll be able to kill other squads and take the cream of what those people have looted early. But that's fine. Playing conservatively is not bad. One notable trait of swamps is probably one of the harder areas to learn how to loot efficiently. You want to spend as little time as possible on the murky ground like this because it slows you down. Jumping up the stairwell is fine. Here, you always want to check for the loot on the platform, and then there's a zip line up here. That's unfortunate. There's a battery out there. Hopefully the Pathfinder finds it. I'm going to skip forward a little bit. So going up that bone lets you get to the high ground here, which lets you choose which buildings to jump down towards and gets you some of these uncontested supply bins. I do find that open loot on the ground is slightly better, faster than supply bins because you don't have to wait to open them. But when you're looting an uncontested area with multiple teammates and you want to get out of each other's looting paths, this is good. You want to have a sense, you take a moment to look at your inventory to decide, or just keep your mind aware of what pieces you need so you don't have to spend as much time deciding with each individual part that you encounter whether you want it or not, or each individual gun. You can instead compare it against your mental list of what you're missing or what you want. Nice shotgun bolt. I think he's going to ping it probably. Well, maybe not. And shotgun bolt is not that valuable. I mean, it's valuable for a shotgun, but it's probably the least flexible class of weapon. Also, X2 scopes are, which he's about to find here, yeah. Perfect timing. Work better on close range weapons on console than they do on PC because the change to the viewport sensitivity combined with the gravity well of the console aim assist, which does not exist on PC because mouse is more accurate, it works well. Whereas on PC you'd almost always want an X1 on a Prowler if you can help it. Yep. Reloading before picking something up or interacting with an object is good because it lets you overlap two different things at once. For example, you can start reloading and start opening up a death box while the reload animation is happening, or opening a door, opening a supply bin, whatever it is. I'm going to speed up a little bit here because yeah, I've already said a lot about looting. So let's go to 1.5 speed for the moment. We'll go back to normal in a bit. Energy ammo here. I'd recommend practicing swamps more because there's, yep, swapping to Peacekeeper makes sense there. Practicing swamps because it's actually pretty tricky to navigate effectively. Yeah, that's in fact the shotgun bolt that he ran by earlier, I think. Oh, maybe not. No, I'm not sure. I think it was. So we're down to 13 squads left already. It means almost half the lobby's been eliminated, 7 of the 20. And you haven't seen anyone. This is a result of the conservative play of going far from the jump path. Now let's get that out of the view for now. We don't need to slow down right away. Here I'd say check multiple, open the supply bins at the same time and then turn around to check what's in them. I like switching to this longbow here. I approve. You don't need that many close range weapons usually. Because the supply bins take a while to open and make their items accessible, you can tap all of them quickly once and then turn around to check what's in them. The only situation where you wouldn't want to do that is if there's someone contesting your supply bins, whether an ally that you're trying to beat, which is a little unfortunate, or a, more importantly, an enemy. Because then you need to jealously guard your supply bin or they'll snap them up right behind you while you're busy opening them. So you could have had double select fire if you wanted to do double Prowler. Not that it would have been worth it. I'm going to go back up to slightly faster speed. You see a glimpse of purple. Is that a scope or something? Looks like that's a, yes, that's a sniper scope. I tend to like the 4 to 8x on the longbow, which you do have, but preferring the 2x is a little odd, but I think we'll probably find like a 3x or something soon, which will be fine. Like in this situation, you saw a lifeline drop come down. You know there's going to be a team somewhere out there, very likely. So having a 4 to 8x to watch this area would be good. Now you don't know which way they're going to move from here, and you haven't actually seen any of the bad guys. So, but you do know they have to be there somewhere. There's a lifeline drop. And you can tell it's a lifeline drop from how quickly it came down. A regular drop takes much longer to land. In addition to having the warning on the minimap. So now there's hostiles spotted to the west, as well as the ones that you know about that had to have been in relay. So this is a scenario where you want to be a little cautious, maybe isn't the right word, but aware, because if you get into a loud fight here, it's possible that you'll get flanked by that other squad you know about. Now, if they're leaving our relay by going west instead of south, then you won't get flanked. You'd run into them both on the same side, and you would be the flanking squad. That would be the ideal scenario. But you don't know which way that team's going to go from. That's the friendly lifeline drop. So you'll note the other lifeline drop happened slightly earlier. Either your lifeline held onto her ult for a little bit, or more likely the other lifeline that was in relay popped an accelerant. Ooh, golden digital threat for the Prowler is very, very nice. It's one of my preferred things, R99 or Prowler with the digital threat. Nice skull piercer for your longbow, that should be good. No, I like this, going up this side, the boxes, instead of crossing all the way and then going up the stairwell. This is just faster if you're coming from this direction. Similarly, you can scale this corner here if you want. There's your 3x, very nice. I'm going to increase playback speed a bit again. Enemy trap spotted. It's just an octane bounce pad. Alright, let's slow down again. That's always fun. Bouncing a trap. It doesn't go far enough to reach the compound. You spotted an enemy out there. You know that there was a squad in relay, although they haven't come behind you yet, and you'd think you would have encountered them now if they had, so they probably exited relay going west. So there's probably a few squads in front of you here. One coming from the west, and another coming east from relay. It's a little risky making that noise and visual of the platform, jumping off of the bounce pad. Because there's at least one squad up there, and probably more. The supply ship's coming here, the circle's getting small, there's only 8 squads left. Circle's not getting that small yet, but... So you know there's a squad ahead. There's goofing off like Lifeline's doing is a little silly. It's fine, I mean, you're playing a game, but I'm going to speed up again. The ship takes forever to fall. Yep, Wraith Portal. There's a Gibraltar ult, was that? Yeah, you saw a Gibraltar ult that you didn't quite notice. So there is fighting, even though you can't hear it. Which means at least 2 squads up there, and maybe a third. I like the placement of those traps by the points that come up onto the ship. I'm not sure if someone's going to attack you on the ship or not, but I think you have way too many healing items. If I'm tracking correctly, you've basically got like an entire row of your inventory devoted to healing. That's more than you need. Oh, so opening fire, so people will know you guys are up here. Nice headshot. So 2 outside the wall going this way, 1 outside the wall that way, and they're fighting at least one other squad. Only 7 squads left, so this fight is likely to bring a lot of the remaining squads on the map to it due to its noise. I would expect this to be a long fight. You also might not, it depends how intensely you guys end up fighting, but you might not have enough ammo. The Prowler can really eat up ammo. So again, what I'm seeing here, you can jump from the top of that wall to reach a climbable part of the wall of the compound to get to the second floor there. There's a Wraith portal, there's an enemy zipline, Lifeline's YOLOing in a bit. Okay, so she's fighting. You jump a little earlier than I maybe would plan to. It's possibly risky of me, but I would try to get to this tree piece of cover here, because then you're much closer for your grenades, for your ultimate, for your barrels, for your prowler. You're aiming a little too low with your resting aim point. Should be crouching here. Nice. Oh, 5 squads left, so yeah, this is definitely a multi-squad fight. Like, more than 3. There's probably 4 squads or 5 squads, although at least one of them's been eliminated. Yeah, 4 squads left. 1 squad just went down. I like this play of near the edge zone, outside the wall. It gives you good cover. There's no cover for your legs or whatever that you can crouch behind and otherwise abuse, but still having the wall to peek in and out of is good. You hear the revive and go for it. Yes, ideal. Very greedy of them to be grouped up all 3, I think. Because it makes them vulnerable to this type of AoE stuff. I would just keep the Prowler out. Yep. Nice. Okay. Pop a battery. Oh, and one point, you want your default, preset healing item to be set to battery already. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. See, it costs you a bit of time here. Almost always, even with a white shield, although it's especially ones you have in tier 2 and better shields, body armors. You want to have a battery, if you have it, set as your first use healing item, so you don't have to go selecting from the menu. So only 2 squads left now. Crouch here. I'm not sure if you can crouch while looting on console. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but I think you can. That's an extended heavy for your longbow, which isn't as important. And yeah, I think you have way too many healing items. There's no way you're going to be able to use all this stuff. I'm going to increase playback speed for a little bit here. And again, so you can see how looting is slower on console, just because the interaction with the menu isn't as efficient. So now it's a matter of trying to find the last squad. Hold up. This is funny. Going up onto the roof here. Which, going up a door to get onto a roof is, by the way, is good. That's good. But just seeing that that armor just hanging out on the roof, that's funny. And there's no death box or anything near it that you can see, so it just seems like someone dropped their armor there. Though probably there was a death box they fully looted and emptied out. What are you really looking for by checking these bodies? You know, you don't need any of this stuff. Sniper stock is not that important. Stocks in general aren't that important. Yeah, we got a glimpse of your inventory there. I'm going to pause on it for a moment. Lifeline gives away the location of your entire squad by calling that, yeah, right there. Can we scrub back like very slightly, please? That's all right. Well, you have like 2 Phoenix kits, like multiple stacks of syringes, something like 18 small shields. It's too much. You should be carrying more ammo and more grenades. So, scouting towards the new ring. Since there was such a long lad fight and you haven't seen anyone, I'd be somewhat inclined to believe that the last squad is a damage squad, so missing a player. It's not a guarantee, so you should still play cautiously. And I'd absolutely recommend having your Prowler out in this scenario. Having your longbow out. In this part of the map, it's very easy to get close to someone without knowing it, because there's a lot of bushes, or a lot of trees, there are a lot of little slopes in the hills. So this area outside of artillery and relay, I would definitely keep your close range weapon out by default. That should often be the default, but in certain areas of the map, it's, in wide open plains in the southwest or whatever, it's much more feasible to... Ooh, they summoned a drop? No, that's the actual map drop. And Lifeline says she saw someone. Yeah, you saw one on the roof there, I think. Yeah. 2 up there. They don't even see you? How? So there are little, well, you're shooting downhill, so it's a little different. But these little pips on your aim can be used to compensate for the arc over long distance shots. Yeah, one of them went to loot. That's a little greedy of him. Yeah, controlling a longbow is probably harder on console. So there's 3 of them up there, and I think one of those shots was a Kraber. Maybe not yet. Yeah, that I think I heard a Kraber. The sniper duel. So it does look like it's actually a 3v3. Not a damage squad. Yes, that guy got a bunch of your armor. Hiding behind the gas to heal or reload is good. Being able to make your own cover like that so easily is one of the advantages of the character. Recharging shields while sliding into the cover of the gully is good. Yep, so 1 down. You guys thirst him. I'm not sure if that's necessary. Sometimes it's better to leave someone down as bait in the final fight. But you know, you can't really be that wrong to finish them if you're not in a spot where they can kill you. You hear a bloodhound behind you? Yep. And that's the last one. GG. Well played. So you guys had a conservative start and got rewarded for it by not having to engage many squads. The map got thinned out. It's not the approach I usually play with my squads, but it's totally valid as exemplified here. I think... Well, yeah, GG. Well played, guys.